So when Jesus goes to Calvary, Jesus dies as a result of God's love for us, and he takes upon himself the sin of the world, right? On the third day, he promises that I'll get up with all power. Someone say all power. All right, when Jesus gets up on that third day, when God resurrects him, the power that Jesus has is not our power, that belongs to him. So when you hear the preacher, the old school preacher will say on the third day, he got up with all power in his hands. What he's talking about, she could be talking about, is that what God did in resurrecting Jesus from the grave. But at Pentecost, someone say Pentecost. It was at Pentecost where God promised the believer, you and I, that we too could have power, that we wouldn't have to be subject to the power or the prayers of others. But because the veil had been torn, that because God closed the gap, the distance between humanity and himself, he says you no longer need a deacon, a preacher, a pastor, or someone that you look up to spiritually to pray for you. He says because of the power of the Holy Spirit, you can pray for yourself. He says you've got so much power that all you have to do is have the courage to play with fire. On Sunday mornings, that's what this worship team, that's all they're attempting to do, is to ignite an environment, to create a combustible situation so that you come in and you begin thinking about all that God has done. And in the course of that, what you do is stop and pause for just a moment and say, if it had not been for God on my side, I don't know where I would be. Now, I know it sounds old school. Perhaps you might even think it sounds simple. But the fact of the matter is, it's connected to the power of the Spirit. So when I come into the house of God, no matter my sin, no matter what I did the night before, no matter what I'm trying to overcome from what I did weeks before, God says when I get in the presence of God, he has the power to purge me and make me white as snow. That's why I will worship God no matter what you know about me. Because I know I've already been forgiven. That's why I will give him praise no matter what you might have caught me in. Because I know I've been justified. Here it is.